Any other wins before we get started? Does anyone else have any victories they want to share with us? Des just shared a big one.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. All right, it's 9:03. I'm going to go ahead and get started for everyone. This script that I'm sharing with all of you right now on the screen is near and dear to my heart because this script is the one that made me $100,000 my first year in real estate. My first full year in real estate. Quick background for 1 minute. I went full-time into real estate May of 2015. And Monica, my assistant, she pulled my numbers yesterday. And just like I tell everyone, I only sold 3 houses in 2015. There it was on my MLS, 3 houses in 2015. Had my car repossessed at a listing appointment. It was very difficult. My now wife, Cherish, was part of that entire process. She would see me door knocking 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. I'll say that one more time. I would door knock 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. At 7:30 in the morning, I was already standing up in my home office, AKA my bedroom. And I had my scripts, my objection handlers, and my closings. And I was prospecting from 7:30 in the morning to 11 over the phone. It's my belief for all of you is that the majority of your time, if your business is not where you want it to be, the majority of your time should be spent prospecting. That's it. Nothing else. Not the busy work, not the emails, not the putting out the fires during escrow. All of that stuff is secondary. If you have a listing or something that's an escrow or a listing that's active on the market, that is secondary. Your primary focus every day is prospecting. Then I had the blessing of having one person, and they call him the king of door knocking in my area. His name is Mr. Eastlake. They call him Mr. Eastlake because this guy owns Eastlake. He has a golf cart that says Mr. Eastlake. All of his open house signs and for sales signs say Mr. Eastlake, and he takes a majority of the listings in this upscale neighborhood in San Diego. One day, I'm sitting down at the office in a cubicle, in my cubicle, and he walks over to my cubicle and he says, "Hey, cabrón," and I look up, and I don't really speak Spanish that fluently. "Hey, cabrón," I look up. He's like, "Where's this guy? Where's this pendejo at over here?" And he's talking about my friend JP, who he's supposed to be door knocking with. And I look over to him like, and I'm looking at this guy like he's the shiznit. This guy is the best of the best. Everyone looks up to him. And I'm staring at him like, I'm like, I have no idea where he's at. And he's like, este cabrón. He's supposed to go door knocking with me. All right. Well, what are you doing? And I'm fumbling around, looking at papers, like pretending that I'm doing something busy. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, well, print out these flyers, meet me at this address in 30 minutes. You're going to go door knocking with me. And I'm like, oh, sure. Okay, let's go. So I print out the flyers he gives me, like 50 of them, colored flyers. I get the address, I go to his house. And that was the start of the career that changed my life forever. If it wasn't for that guy. This is the script that he taught me when we were door knocking. And of course, you adjust it depending on the person you're having the conversation with. Just yesterday, we talked about personality types. And this conversation, you will adjust it depending on the personality type of the person you're speaking to. So the words are going to be similar. The words will be similar every time, but you will change the tonality. You will change your pace and even the words depending on who you're speaking to. D, I, S, or C, like we talked about yesterday during the training. So this is the script, and I'm going to read it to you just like I would if I was, actually, I'll read it one time all the way through, and then I'm going to perform it for you, and then we're going to break it down together and ask and answer any questions that you guys have. This is the script that put me on in real estate. This is the one that helped me earn $140,000, $100,000 my first year, and $150,000 my second year in real estate. Okay, door knocking script. Hi, my name is blank, and I'm stopping by to inform you that we just sold your neighbor's home. It is a blank bath, blank bedroom, blank square footage model, and we listed / sold it for X amount of money. Were you aware of the sale? And then let them answer. How long have you owned your home? Blank amount of years, blank amount of months. Maybe they rent. We'll talk about that later. Amazing. You purchased at the right time. So if they purchased it like a year or 2 years ago, then they obviously have equity. You purchased it at the right time with an amazing interest rate. Awesome, amazing. You purchased it at the right time. Do you plan on using your equity and upsizing or downsizing soon? When you move, where are you moving to next? How many bedrooms, baths do you need? If we can help you sell your home for top dollar and help you negotiate a deal on a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in this neighborhood, would you consider your options sooner rather than later? Perfect. What's your phone number? 619, look down and wait. And what's your email? Perfect. I promised the homeowner that I would finish passing out flyers, notifying the neighbors of the sale. Can I give you a call once I'm finished on either the date and time, or at 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock? Just give them 2 options at the very end. Can I give you a call once I'm finished? Should say finished on blank or blank? Sounds good. Call them by their name. I'll call you on X. Bye. You're in and you're out. When you're door knocking someone and you don't know them, if they're overly talkative and they invite you in and they do those things, chances are they're not a real seller. They're just someone who's bored that wants to waste your time. But of course, you take every conversation. 90% of the people that I door knocked on were very short and to the point. Very few of them wanted to engage in long conversations. They respected the fact that I went there, did what I said I was going to do, gave them the information, and then I left. There's no room for pandering. There's no time for you to sit there and, oh my gosh, the birds and the bees. The majority of people, even people who are high eyes, will still be somewhat annoyed of that because they're doing something else. You just randomly interrupted their day. Okay, so that's the script. Let me go ahead and perform it for you. They knock, knock, knock. They open the door. Hi, my name is Gabe, and I'm stopping by to inform you that we just sold your neighbor's home. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot model, and we sold it for $499,000. Were you aware of the sale? No, yes, okay, awesome. Okay, well, just wanted to let you know, here's the flyer. How long have you owned your home? 3. Amazing. You purchased it at the right time. Question, do you plan on using your equity on upsizing or downsizing soon? Yes, I do. Question, when you move, where are you moving to next? Oh my gosh, I love that neighborhood. That's an amazing area. That's right by this and that. Have you tried this restaurant before? Yes, I have. Awesome, great. I'm freestyling with this person at this point. Great. And when you move over to that neighborhood, how many bedrooms and baths do you guys need? We're looking for a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. Awesome. Well, hey, listen, and I call them by their name. Hey, listen, Margaret, Janet, Des, whatever. Hey, listen, if we can help you sell your home for top dollar and help you negotiate a deal on that 5-bedroom, 3-bath in that neighborhood, would you consider your options sooner rather than later? And I'm just nodding my head yes. Please pay attention to the body language and tonality. Perfect. What's your phone number? This is where you look down at your notepad or your iPad, whatever you're taking notes on. You look down and you start stating the area code. You look down at it, 619, and I don't look up. Remember that, I don't look up. 619, and if you built enough rapport with them by this time and you imply that you already know you're going to get the number, you put all the pressure on them. And most of the time, people will feel they don't want to have conflict with you. They're not going to want to tell you no without sounding rude, especially after you built rapport with them. So 619, look down at your notepad and you wait for them to finish the number. If it's the incorrect zip code, area code, they'll fix it for you. Oh no, it's actually 858. It's 760. It's 949. Oh, okay, 949. Finish the phone number. And what's your email? Got the email? Okay. And by this point, you've already asked them close to 6 questions in a short 2-minute conversation. You don't want to make it seem like you're putting too much pressure on them. It's really important that you deliver the tone of this next statement like it's nonchalant. You have to make sure when you're delivering this conversation, you're doing it in a manner where it doesn't look like it's that important to you. You have to almost not care. You have to almost not care. And that's where you kind of like, perfect, what's your phone number? 619, you're kind of just having fun with it. And what's your email? And unless it's a type D personality. And then once you do that, you quickly close up your book, you look up at them and you say, I promised the homeowner I would finish. Hey, listen, so by the way, I did promise the homeowner I'd finish passing out these flyers, notifying all the neighbors of the sale. So can I give you a call tomorrow at 5 or tonight at 6 once I'm finished? Cool, I'll give you a call then. Thanks, Jane. I'll give you a call tonight at 6 once I'm finished. Have a good night, bye. And that's it. You set the appointment right there. I'll call you at this time, I'll call you at that time. And you make it very nonchalant, like it's not that big of a deal. You don't want them feeling like it's that big of a deal. And the entire objective of this script is to set the appointment. It's not to get a lead and it's not to make a contact. The objective is to set the appointment. Either you set the appointment to call them, or you set the appointment to have the listing appointment, or if they're renting, you set the appointment to get them pre-approved. You don't leave any door without setting some sort of appointment. That's the objective. Okay, so with that said, I let you guys know the importance of it. I read through it and I performed it. I want to see if one of you guys if anyone has any questions first, we'll go through the questions. If not, I want to role play with one of you and have you actually recite the script and help you do this live in front of everyone.
I have a question.
Yes, Carolina, tell me.
At what moment do you ask for their names?
At the end.
Okay. And also, when you don't get someone like physically at the door, but they answer you through the ring.
Yeah, that happens to me. What's your question?
Oh, so you still go through the whole script, like facing the ring, or because there's no one there, right?
Yeah, you have the entire conversation with them on the ring. And remember, the reason they're answering you on the ring majority of the time is because they don't trust you or know you, and they don't feel comfortable having that face-to-face conversation. But if you can stand in front of the ring slightly, and you have to come from a posture of confidence, but not overpowering. If you're directly in the ring, you're squared off with the ring camera, and you're talking directly into it, that's very overwhelming. People don't like talking to people who are that powerful, especially when they don't know you. So you want to make sure you're a little softer in your tonality. You want to have a little smile on your mouth when you're talking to the ring doorbell. Maybe you intentionally, listen to what I'm getting ready to tell you next. You intentionally throw ums and uhs inside of the conversation, and you even look away. Now, there are times where you're not going to want to use uhs and ums, like on stage when you're presenting in front of people, or perhaps when you're presenting to a C-level executive, something like that. But when you're having a casual conversation with someone, you want to be normal. So yes, look at the ring doorbell and say, hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, I definitely know you're busy. And then you go right into the script. I'm actually just stopping by to notify all the neighbors that we listed or sold the house.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. What other questions do we have on the script? And you guys can speak openly. Any question? Nothing's a dumb question.
Hey, Gabe, quick question.
Yes.
What if you haven't listed or sold anything in the area?
I love that. So two things. Number one, you find something in your office or someone within the company who has, or you just find a listing that has, and you change it from your neighbor listed, your neighbor sold. So you don't say we listed, we sold. And when you use the language of we, that applies even if it is not your direct listing and sale. However, it's within your own brokerage. You can use that language when you do that. If it's not within if it's not yours and it's not within your brokerage or team, then you would use your neighbor. Hey, I'm just stopping by to inform you that your neighbor just listed and sold their home. This is the property address right here. Quickly go by that conversation. Hey, what's up, Des? Hey, Gabe. Hey, my name is Gabe. I'm just stopping by to let you know that your neighbor just listed their home for sale. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's the 1,500 square foot model, and they just listed like 2 days ago for $450,000. Were you aware of the sale? Right. And this is like all it was a conversation starter. That's how you would use it. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah. And with people with that, Des, just one thing on that. A lot of people that I've coached in the past, one of the issues that they're having with that is the limiting belief. So remember, I taught you guys like 3 or 4 weeks ago, don't create false stories. Don't create false narratives. before you pick up the phone, before you follow up with anyone, before you send that DM or knock on a door, a cold call, host an open house, whatever you do, don't choose the negative story. Don't choose the story where you feel defeated or insignificant, or perhaps you even feel like an imposter. Don't choose that. It's a choice, because that will affect your physiology and how you actually perform. I want you guys to think that you're doing the right thing here. So before I went out there door knocking, I would constantly tell myself over and over again, I would reaffirm these homeowners and these neighbors and these renters and tenants in the neighborhood, they need my information. They need me to come to the door and to service them, because I'm coming from the right place. I would have that conversation with myself until my posture was in a confident place. And then I went there from a place of servanthood. I didn't go there for my selfish needs. I went there to serve the client. And when I removed myself from the equation, because I told myself a better story, I was able to connect with people on an emotional level. And that was a high level skill that I had to learn later on. In the very beginning, it was all about me. How can I close this deal? How can I get this lead? How can I get this appointment? And they can sense that. Your prospects can sense when you're coming from a place that's all about you. But when you come from a place of contribution where it's not about you, and this conversation has this, it has this tonality of almost like grandma. It has a tonality of grandma, like, ay, mijo, mijita, ven pa acá. Like, you feel very safe and comfortable, and have that tonality when you're talking to people at the door. They feel safe and comfortable. That's the tonality that you want to take. So take that, again, reaffirm yourself, create the better story, and then go out there and deliver it. What other questions do we have about the scripts?
I have one. So
Yeah.
if you change it to like it was listed by another brokerage, do you still take a flyer or you just talk?
Absolutely. You still take a flyer. And depending on the neighborhood that you're going in, you might even want to take a digital flyer. You might not even want to take a printed flyer. For example, there's this neighborhood in San Diego called North Park. If you bring a flyer to their area where they're very health conscious, they love dogs and yoga, and they love oat milk, and they're very eco-friendly and think about the Mother Nature and all of that. If you take a flyer there, they're going to feel really offended that you brought a flyer, that you ruined Mother Nature just to give them that information. Be very cautious with that. But yes, to answer your question, even if it's not your sale, you are still just going to take that information and present it over to them on a flyer. That's okay. It's branded to you, but at the bottom it says listed by, or listing provided by whatever broker and listing agent. You're going to give them the courtesy. You're not going to take the shine for listing it. That would be unethical. So you would put their information on it, but you would brand the flyer to you. On the front side, you would have the property that's sold or that was just listed. On the back side of the flyer, you would have all the sales comparables in the neighborhood, all of the recent sales that took place in the last 30 to 90 days, depending on how many sales were there. And when you're going door knocking, keep this in mind. When you're out there knocking on these doors, you need to know more about that association and that neighborhood and those models than the homeowner does. If you go there just presenting the information, and let's just say you do a really good job at this script and they buy into you, and then they ask you about the model, or they ask you about the development. Well, hey, that half of the development, that was built first. That was phase number 1. We're phase number 3. Does that make a difference in my price? And you're like, So a couple of things I want you guys to be prepared for when you're out there door knocking. Number 1, understand that development. In which phases was it built? Who was the developer? Find out about the HOA. How much do they charge? What's included inside of the amenities? Has the HOA gone up at all? Call the HOA and say, hey, listen, I have a client who lives in this area. Maybe you don't have a client right now, but you're prophesizing that over your future. So I have a client in this area and I just want to find out more about the association. What's the budget look like? What's the P&Ls? You want to become the master of this area, because if I'm going to trust you with a condo or a townhome at $500,000-$700,000, you want to take my listing. Chances are I'm also going to give you my purchase, which means you're going to get 2 sales out of it, close to $30,000-$40,000 in commission. You better come prepared. And if you don't have that information, I'm going to the next person who was prepared, or better yet, the agent who sold me the house to begin with. So have that information prepped, and yes, bring the flyer, even if it's not from your company.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Catalina. What else do we have? What other questions? These are really good. I love this. This means you guys are thinking deeply about it. 3, 2, 1, perfect. Okay, so who wants to volunteer and recite the script? Let's work through it a couple of times. We have 5 minutes. Leaders go first. Top producers go first. Leaders and top producers put themselves on the line first. Who wants to go? Come on. Where my leaders at?
I'll do it, Gabe.
Let's go, Dolores. I love it. Okay. Okay, Dolores, you have it here. Just, I know we might fumble and bumble a couple of times, but go ahead and I want you to read through the scripts. We're gonna role play. You're gonna knock on my door, and we're gonna practice as if this is a victory and a win for you. We're not gonna practice it not working out in your favor. We're gonna practice it working out. Okay.
Got it.
All right, knock on my door.
Knock, knock, knock.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Dolores, and I'm stopping by just to inform you that we just listed and sold your neighbor's home. Sorry.
Okay.
It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,100 square feet model, and we listed sold for $2 million. Were you aware of the sale?
No. Wow. That's awesome.
Yes. And how long have you owned your home?
Well, we've owned this house for about, well, I think it's about 7 years now.
7 years. Amazing. You purchased at the right time. Do you plan on using your equity and upsizing or downsizing soon?
You know, Dolores, I've been speaking to my wife about it, and possibly we're either thinking about selling or maybe just doing like a HELOC and purchasing something else. Well, since these prices are going down, you know.
Wonderful. Yes. And when you move, where are you moving to next?
Well, the kids are all gone, so chances are we might just do, you know, something near like the coastal area here in Orange County, maybe like Newport, just a smaller townhome near the beach.
So downsizing. So how many bedrooms and baths do you need?
Well, we would need 2 bedrooms, 2-bath minimum, but we would prefer a 3-bedroom. My wife, you know, when COVID happened with everything, she started working from home. So we need an extra bedroom for the office.
Got it. So we can help you sell your home for top dollar and get you and help you negotiate a deal on a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in the city of Newport Beach in that neighborhood. Would you consider your options sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I would look at it to see what you guys can do. I'd be open to that.
Perfect. What's your phone number?
It's 619-876-2265.
619. And what's your email?
It is gabe@gabemendez.realtor.
Got it. Gabe Mendez. Got it. I promised the homeowner that I would finish passing out flyers notifying the neighbors of the sale. Can I give you a call once I'm finishing on 6 p.m. or tomorrow at 7 p.m.?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, tonight at 6 would be better. Tomorrow we're gonna be pretty packed.
Okay, tomorrow at 6. Sounds good. Okay,
Okay,
great,
thank
Gabe.
you.
I will call you. Bye.
Okay, bye. Awesome job. Let's give her a round of applause, guys. Awesome work. It takes a lot to jump in there like that and perform in front of everyone. Awesome job. Look at all those round of
Thank
applause
you.
you're getting, Dolores. Okay, great. So you actually did really good for the first time around. I'm really impressed. Just take your time, cross out finishing. It should be finished. And we'll have that. And then the only thing would be just owning it and making it yours, just like we talked about last time when you use the script. Make it yours. Go through it, play with it, but don't change the words too much. This is the direction that I need you going in when you're door knocking. It has to be to the point. We want it to be very efficient in what they're looking for. So we're quickly bringing value. We're offering questions that allow us to build rapport, go deeper into their motivation, then we're quickly retracting because we don't want to pander for too long, set the appointment, and then we move on to the next person. But we're not being rude by telling them I have to leave, by telling the client, by telling the prospect at the door that I promised the homeowner that I would finish passing out flyers, notifying everyone of the listing on the sale or the sale of the property. I'll give you a call this time and this time. You actually create a level of respect that you're not going to be there at their beck and call because they're there. You actually have fiduciary responsibility to your seller, and they're going to respect you because they're going to meet you while you're working hard. That seller prospect is going to meet you while you're out there working hard and you're setting boundaries for yourself. So in their mind, when they're thinking of selling, do they want the agent who's on TikTok doing this all day? Or do they want the person who's actually knocking on the door, getting that information sold about the house? Nothing wrong on TikTok. You guys know I'm huge on social media. I just thought it was a funny joke. Maybe a little too early in the morning for the jokes. But anyways, that's the whole point. I want you guys to go out there and make sure that you're doing that. It's an awesome job, Dolores.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we're down to, you're very welcome. We're down to the last minutes. Does anyone have any final questions before we end the call? 3, 2, 1. Okay, just a quick reminder before you guys go out there door knocking, make sure that you guys get the flyer. If it's a listing within your company, EXP, then it's okay to promote it. Remember, the listing belongs to the brokerage, not the agent. So it's okay to promote it as your listing. But of course, if you want to, if you choose to, I would just give the listing agent a courtesy notice that you'll be promoting their listing for them, helping them out. Put that at the bottom. If it's not a listing of yours, that's still okay, but just put listing courtesy by this company, this agent, but brand the flyer to yourself. The front needs to be the property, the back needs to be the comparables. Make sure that you guys are learning everything there is to learn about that neighborhood before you hit the door, because you want to commit to that entire neighborhood in 1 week. If you begin picking up leads there, that place is accidentally going to become your farm and you're going to commit to that place long term. This script is money. You're going to adjust it according to the personality type that you're speaking to at the door. So go through this time and time again. I want you guys to go back on the replay, watch this, listen to the delivery and the notes of how I taught you to deliver it. If you guys need help going on through it one-on-one, reach out to myself, reach out to Monica, reach out to Angel and Patty, preferably me. And let's schedule a call where I can go through in detail with you so that you have a successful door knocking prospecting time. And with that said, you guys, we'll see you at Monica's call later this afternoon. Remember to go out there and promote. We have our announcement taking place on Thursday. Have a healthy, happy, productive day. God bless. See you guys later. Peace.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome, guys. Bye.
Thank you.